to the Bougie Minimalist podcast, where we talk about manifesting your best life through mental health and minimalism. I'm your host, Leslie J. Hardwell, aka the Bougie Minimalist, and welcome. This is our first season, okay? Right in time for Christmas and the New Year. So it's my gift, my little corner of the internet. So what minimalism means to me is having the most while doing the least. You don't have to have all the things, but the things that are important, that are good quality, that are going to add to your life versus take away from your life, that's minimalism. So that doesn't mean that I have just a little bit of this and that. It just means that, I actually love this product and I use this product, whether that be a chair, shoes, jacket, a purse. So I don't need to have a ton of different things. I need to just have things that are important to me that I actually love and care about and I'm going to take care of. So I kind of grew up in a very nice, quiet, loving home, but there was a lot of things around. Whole lot of stuff. And stuff, you don't realize it, but stuff can lead to clutter mentally. So you tend to look around and you're like, I feel so overwhelmed and depressed and anxious. Why is that? Let me look around and see what's manifesting from the outside, inside, mentally. When the pandemic hit, I realized that I was excited at first. Like, I get time off, I get to stay home. I'm never off, you know. But then as time went on, I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. I think I might be depressed. Is this what depression is? So I reached out to my old psychologist, and I said, I think I might be actually clinically depressed. I mean, I don't know, but I don't want to do nothing. I asked her for some recommendations and she gave me some, and so I found somebody. So I realized that I was dealing with depression. I was trying to find a way to fix it. I was trying to find a way to come up out of it. I started to look around now that I'm not going to the salon. I'm not working. So I'm starting to look around and I'm like, this is too much stuff. I need to minimize. I need to declutter. I didn't even know what minimalism was. I just felt like I need to get rid of some stuff because it's making me anxious. I didn't even know what anxiety was. I thought that wasn't real. The opposite of minimalism for me was the clutteredness mentally. And how that feels to me, I felt bogged down. I felt like I was in a dark space. It was like a dark cloud over me that I could not get away from. And I was constantly trying to move away from it. And I just could not do it. I could not figure it out. I figured once I start to clean up things that are around me, or I learned that whatever's going on with you mentally, inside is manifested outwardly. If you want to know how somebody's living or what's going on with them, just look around. Look at their space. Look at the inside of their car and the outside. Look inside their purse. These are things that I still struggle with, okay? It's obviously cluttered, overwhelmed, anxiety. It's just a lot going on. And I wanted more like a clean slate, like a clean, just brand new start. And I couldn't get that with everything that was going on around me. Once I got into minimalism and I actually learned what it was, I started looking on YouTube for ways to declutter, and minimalism kept popping up. But in my mind, I was like, minimalism is like having nothing, and that's just not me. You know, I like things. I like pretty things. So once I really learned what minimalism was and I started to listen to the Minimalist podcast, I learned so much about it. And so I had to define what minimalism was for me. And so for me, that was, I could still have all the things, but maybe not doing the most. I can still have pretty things. I just don't have to have 100 pretty things. I don't have to do all of that. I can just, bring it down. Once I started cleaning things up, I started to feel better, like a weight was lifted off of me. We are carrying around the things that are bothering us. Even with the weight on your body, that's carrying around things that you haven't let go of. It was my goal, like, I need to let go. Minimalism was like it was an entryway for me to let go of things and forgive myself and forgive people who have hurt me, and to just move forward with my life. Like, this is my life. People are not worried about what they did to me. They going on living their life, but I'm holding on to things. So minimalism was like my way to say, okay, I'm going to start my life over. I'm going to try to break the things that I learned as a child that are like negative or not really contributing to my life, to the kind of life that I want to live. I wanted to just like start over, because the way I was doing it, that wasn't working. It wasn't conducive to the lifestyle that the future Leslie that I saw in my head, the person that I wanted to be. The opposite of minimalism was like pressing down on her, like pushing her like out the way. She couldn't be great. And I'm like, okay, there's some kind of bondage that I'm in that I need to break away from. So getting rid of things, getting rid of guilt, getting rid of stuff that's not my responsibility, always trying to fix people, always trying to help. I need to work on fixing me. Let me get myself together so that once my cup is full, it'll overflow and then I can give back. Minimalism helped me pour into myself. It's like I thought I was doing that, but I was not. I was neglecting myself. My life revolved around work, clients, others, relationships. It was never putting Leslie first. Even though it seemed like I wasn't. I was putting things in people and situations before myself. That can lead to a lot of anxiety and depression. Unknowingly, you don't realize it until it hits you and you're like, what's going on? How can I fix this? Sometimes you get too deep in there and then you got to like climb your way out of it. And if you can try to figure out what's going on before you get so deep that you got to climb your way out, then you still kind of close to the surface and you can say, okay, let me get back on track, get back to putting myself first. And sometimes being selfish is okay. It doesn't mean neglect everybody that you love and things that you love. Still take care of people and take care of things, but make sure that your cup is full before you start to pour. Minimalism feels now like it's still a journey. It's still like I had to learn that it was not a destination. And I learned that from the podcast. And they helped me to understand that you're going to be practicing minimalism every single day for the rest of your life, just like you would a diet. You don't just start a diet and then this is what it is and I don't have to think about it anymore. Now you got to make those decisions every single day, because you can fall back into your old habits where you want to put other people first. You want to go shopping when you're feeling some kind of way. You tend to hold on to things that you need to let go of, even physical things in your home. Today, practicing minimalism is still not easy. It is something that I have to remind myself that I'm becoming. I'm becoming a minimalist every day. Future me that I see ahead of me has this beautiful clean house and the car's clean and the purse is clean on the inside and my skin is clear and I have a flat stomach and I've just released everything, right? But I'm not quite there yet. But the practice of doing it every day makes me feel that I am being fulfilled, that I am fulfilling my purpose. God wants me to be not under stress. He paid the ultimate cost, right? For us to be able to just walk, even when we fail, we get to go back and repent, ask for forgiveness, ask for grace, mercy, understanding. Instead of me carrying that cross, I can let go of that. And so that's a constant walk that I'm doing every day. Even with my house, I'm looking like, I don't feel like doing the dishes. Should I do it? Maybe, maybe not. How am I feeling mentally? And then I go based on that. It's like facing procrastination like right away instead of constantly putting it off. Getting to whatever it is that you're trying to get to become what it is that you see yourself as in the future. Living a minimalistic lifestyle has helped me and it's hurt me. It hurt me in the beginning because you get to like see yourself for what you really are, the things that you ignored. You're not able to ignore anymore. You're looking at yourself from the outside looking in like, oh, this is how people see me. This is how I'm looking at myself. Like, how do I want to be perceived? It hurt in the beginning because it's like, it's overwhelmed. Like, now I have to fix myself. I have to change into this person that I want to be. And I've been this other person for the past 30 some odd years. That's tough. That's not easy to break those generational learnings that you've been taught. And not by anybody's fault. People just, you learn based on your upbringing. The way that you interact with society and your friends and people that are around you, the things that you consume on the internet and television, radio, you become that. I'm being purposeful. I'm like, okay, I'm going to intentionally try to be better. And that is a very tough task when you have never tried to do anything like that before. And then once I got into my groove, yes, it started to feel good. You start to look around like I'm actually making choices to be better. I'm not better by default. I am intentionally making a change. I'm intentionally writing things down and making a choice. This is the kind of person that I'm going to be. I'm not there yet, but I'm going to try to show up as her every day. Even when I fail, I can forgive myself and then start again, start anew the next day. So this is like my favorite part of minimalism. I call myself the Bougie Minimalist because I'm not just a lot of minimalists tend to have the bare necessities. They go with the basics, I just need a plain sofa and a plain chair and then a TV on the floor, and I don't need a rug and I don't need this, that, and the third. I realize that I need those things because they're pretty and they make me feel good. I do need a pretty sofa. I need to have, pretty flatware. I need to have nice dishes and glasses to drink out of, The Bougie Minimalist came from me trying to figure out a way to still have nice, fine things, but not being a maximalist, not trying to have all the things. So I ended up finding a lady on YouTube, and she made a video about, she didn't call it Bougie Minimalism, but she called it like fancy minimalism or something like that. And so the way she does it is she's her and her family, her and her husband and her child, they got a little money, right? She got into minimalism in a way that she still liked to have nice things. So she said, instead of buying 3 pairs of Stuart Weitzman boots, she bought the absolute favorite pair of Stuart Weitzman boots. She didn't settle for the ones that were on sale. So if there are $200 boots, okay, you can buy 3 pair for $6. Instead, she found the one that was, let's say it was $800, that topped all 3 of those. So then she purchased those boots. Instead of having 3 pair of things that she liked, she purchased the 1 pair of the thing that she loved. Another example she gave, she had a Chloe wallet and she wanted a Chanel wallet. Instead of going by another wallet, she sold the Chloe wallet so that she could purchase the one that she absolutely loved. She's like, I don't need to have several wallets, I've gotten my use out of this Chloe wallet. It's still beautiful. Let me go ahead and get it off my hands so that I can buy another one that I love. And another third option that she gave was she had a birthday party for her child, but she didn't tell anybody that it was a birthday party or a baby shower. She didn't tell them. She just said, we're going to gather, to avoid them bringing gifts. You tend to receive gifts for birthdays and Christmas, and you don't even love them. You don't like them. You're not going to use them. They're going to sit around your house because you feel guilty about giving them away or getting rid of them. And so she had them to come and celebrate with her. Instead of bringing a gift, they just bought themselves. Can't remember if she said for them to bring a gift card or whatever, so that they can actually purchase what they actually want, use, love, and appreciate. She made sure not to tell them that, it was a party, because people feel obligated to bring a gift. Once I watched her video, I was like, that's it. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to have all the nice things that I love, but it not being, I don't need to have 10 of them. I don't need to have 100 of them. I don't want to be overwhelmed with taking care of things. I want to be able to take care of me, but also it needs to be aesthetically pleasing. It needs to smell good. It needs to be pretty. It needs to feel good to me. So I had to define what minimalism was for me that made me feel good, because I went through a little stage where I'm getting rid of everything. And then I started to do that, and I started looking around, and I'm like, it's not cute in here no more. I need the color. I need the decor. I need the things that make me feel good. So now when I shop, I look for, do I love this? If I can't say I love it, then I'm not getting it. If I like it a lot, I like this. I really like this. I'll put it in my basket. I'll walk around the store with it for a while. By the time it's time to check out, I look at it again. Do I still love this? Do I still like this? It's okay. Or I gotta have it. I have to have it. That's how I know. And I make the purchase. It has cut down my debt tremendously. It has cut down the clutter tremendously. And I try to, when I bring new things in, I need to make sure that I'm also putting things out that I no longer love. And not just tossing them. They served a purpose at one time. So I need to donate it, give it to somebody, or repurpose it in some way. So if you're a person who wants to get into minimalism, but you like the way that I describe minimalism as being bougie and minimalist, I have 3 steps that you can try. First and foremost, I think that you should figure out what's going on with you mentally, emotionally. What kind of baggage are you carrying? It's your own walk. Only you can answer that question. Whether you go to therapy, do some research on your own, have a conversation with yourself, you can figure out or write things down. What's important to me and what's not. What do I have around me that it's not important to me, but I'm having to take care of it because it's here? And what do I want my life to look like? Is there a celebrity that you follow that you like? Like for me, I always say Marjorie Harvey is like my future self. I want that life, So I kind of model behind the people that I admire. People like her, people like Jackie Aina. I love those people. I follow them. I watch the way they move. And I see my future self as that. You want to address what's going on with you, how you want to be, what does your future self look like. I feel like once you address that, then you can kind of understand who you are, what your style is, what's important to you, what matters to you. So the first thing is, get some help if you feel like you need to. Everybody does not believe in mental health care, like seeing a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I didn't believe in that coming from, Black family, coming up in the country in Louisiana. Everything is about going to church and praying it away. That did not work for me at some point. I'm praying, and then I need to also listen to that voice that's saying, okay, I have also put people on earth that can help you. The creation does not end with you just trying to figure it out on your own. When we have a headache, we go take something for it. When we can't see, we go get glasses. If our leg is broken, we go get it fixed. But then when we're struggling mentally, we're just like, nah, I'm just going to pray it away. You can't pray away a broken leg. You can't pray away, your vision problems. You're going to wreck or hit somebody or not perform a task because you can't see. So anyway, you need to take care of those things. And that includes, like, for me, it's like your body is a computer. The brain of it starts here. So you can't take care of everything else around you. Take care of your house. You got the best car, the best house. Everything is pretty and beautiful. And then this right here is just toe up. Gotta address that. Once you address that, then you can address your style, who you are, what do you want to look like. That's the second step. The second step is figuring out your style, who you are. That took me a long time. I kept trying to figure out who I was and I couldn't figure out. And I'm like, I want to buy this. No, I like this. No, I like that. And that was another thing that was just like, what do I like? I don't want to start just purchasing things and then I get it home and I'm starting to put it together and I'm looking at it like, I don't even like this. I was influenced by social media. They like that. And so I thought I would like it too. So let me go and buy this, that, and the third. And then I put it in. I'm like, this does not bring me joy. So figure out what brings you joy. It took me a long time. I feel like I had to pray for it because I could not figure it out. It was just really driving me crazy. So I found my identity in minimalism. To figure out what you love and enjoy, you're not influenced by what you think you enjoy. I've had people ask me for help. Leslie, can you come and help me, decorate my house? And then when I get there, I'm like, okay, so what do you want? Well, I don't know. Just do it. And I just can't operate like that. I need for you to figure out. Okay, the lights just went out. We're at the studio and they came back on it. All right, that was okay. Stay on track. Let's get it. Okay. So that gave me a little energy. I had a client ask me to come and help her. And I'm like, okay, perfect. It's right up my alley. I get there and I'm like, okay, so what is your style? What colors do you like? I don't really know. Just do it. And I feel like I was like that at one time too when I was trying to get things done. I had people come over and help me out. What do you want? I'm like, I don't know. Just make it look pretty. If I do that, later on, you're going to look around and you're going to be like, I don't like that. I don't like that either. I should have said I didn't. You don't know. You're not ready yet. All right. So I could easily take your money, but I want you to be certain that is my contribution to my little corner of the internet. If you want me to help you, I'm happy to do that. Even in my cosmetology life, when I'm in a salon, when I'm with a client, and some people say, I want this, or I want you to just do it. And I'm like, okay, let's figure out what you don't want. Tell me what you don't like, because I can just do it. And then when I finish, if I cut too much off, if I put another color on that you don't like, and then you're like, well, I don't really like this. See, we didn't have good communication. So now that I can break things down, what I don't like, and you can write that down, what you do like, and then you can narrow it down to, okay, this is my style. This is what I love. And then you can put that into your life. That way you're not just doing things just to do it. It's actually when you walk in your house, you want your house to hug you. You want it to welcome you and say, oh, welcome home. You walk in and you're like, oh, I just love it here. This is my oasis. It feels so good. As opposed to getting home and you're like, I don't want to be here. I just want to crawl in the corner and not look around. It's just all the stuff. It's just, it's too much. You want to change that so that you are living a life with purpose, and the things around you are a representation of who you are and how you feel. If you don't want it to look like clutter, because of what you're feeling up here, fix that. And then you'll be able to address the things that are around you. So number one, you need to figure out what's going on with you mentally, emotionally, sometimes even physically, taking care of your physical health, exercise, figuring out what's keeping you from being the person that you see yourself as in the future. How can you move things out of the way so that you can show up as that person? Number two, we're going to figure out what we like, who we are. What is my thing? What am I gravitated towards when I go into a place, when I go to a store, when I'm looking on the internet? Let me streamline myself to go in that direction. I don't want to be going here, there, and everywhere. You're going to get overwhelmed very quickly. So if you already know what your style is, then you're going to go straight to it. Then you can purchase it with a clear mind, and then you can bring it home and put it into action. Step number three. What's step number three? There's a book called Atomic Habits. I had to find this book, and oh my God, I love it. I think I've read it twice. I need to read it again. That's a habit. You need to constantly, because you're going to miss things, right? So you go back and read it again. I don't really have the time and the focus to read it, physically again. So a lot of times I'll turn it on as an audiobook and I'll listen to it when I'm doing other things. You want to find little habits that'll help you to continue on this journey. You're a minimalist now. Okay. But you're also bougie. All right. So what do I like? Okay, you can easily fall back into your old habits. So you want to try to address that every single day. You'll find yourself doing the same old things again. These are things that you've been doing for the past 20, 30 years, depending on how old you are, 40 years, 50 years. And then now it's never too late to like reinvent yourself. I'm 36, but I have people who are like 60 years old and they're like, oh girl, I'm too old for that. Never. If you still have life ahead of you, you don't know how much you have. You could have 3 years, you could have 10, right? So you want to make those years count. Even if you did not make the past ones count, you want to live a life of contribution to yourself and to others. So once you get to know who you are as a person, you'll begin to create these habits, sometimes without even thinking about it. You'll be able to constantly repeat the habit, do it over and over. So these habits that you're creating are creating the person that you want to be. And so you'll find yourself moving in that direction. You want to try to stay on track, try to stay on that path. So for me, this is part of the person that I want to become. I never saw myself as a YouTuber, never saw myself as a podcaster. I never saw any of this in my future. It was like do hair forever until it's time to retire. And then once I started getting into this, I'm like, oh, I feel really good about contributing and teaching people about this journey, about this walk. I've always been a natural teacher, or people come to me for advice, for whatever reason. I've always heard, you've been here before. Okay, so I have an old soul and I have this advice from a previous life, maybe. I don't know, whatever it is that's instilled within me. Now it gets to come out. It gets to flourish. It gets to show itself, so to speak. So the person who you are deep down inside that is being bogged down by things and stress and anxieties, you can now become that person. And a lot of people start to find themselves at a later time in life. It depends on what your walk is. And so that's what we're going to be talking about in this podcast. So basically, I'm going to be sharing my journey as becoming a minimalist and maintaining my bougie lifestyle, sharing my tips and tricks on how you can also do the same thing. It's not just about things. It's not just about buying things. It's about everything that encompasses who you are. And so I'm really excited about sharing about how mental health is connected to minimalism and creating your best life and living that best life. So yeah, I look forward to continuing on my journey and sharing and connecting with you guys. And I hope that I did make a positive contribution. I hope that you did learn something from this, and I look forward to more. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you think that it could benefit someone else. You can find me on Instagram at the Bougie Minimalist. So until next time, stay bougie and stay minimal.